you going to call if you're coming, or...
The decoy you see chatting is a 19-year-old actress. We've hired her to play the role of a young teen on the phone.
But I'd really like to see you.
And on a webcam.
Alright, let's pull up my webcam first.
This potential predator thinks he's chatting with our actress who's posing as a 13-year-old virgin. It's actually Dell from Perverted Justice typing on the computer. He's 26-year-old James Rutherford, screen name I.U. Rutherford. He's been chatting online for more than a week with Princess Danica.
And he started out very slowly, trying to convince her that he could be trusted. He was a good guy. He ended up getting on webcam.
And what does the 26-year-old do with his webcam? He starts putting on a show. He takes off his shirt, flexes his muscles, and even shows off his pierced tongue. He tries to convince the decoy to do a bit of a show as well. Several times he asks the actress to show him her stomach. She finally agrees, and he says, "Nice tummy, hun. I want to lick that." Then he says, "I owe you something now, don't I?"
And then he starts pulling the boxers down a little bit. Doesn't go all the way down.
Remember, he's talking to an actress who he thinks is 13 as he watches her on a webcam. As the chat progresses and plans are made to meet, he types, "I'm so freaking horny. You know, if you had me naked, I'd want more, right?" But just before he gets in his car to come over, he calls.
I was really looking forward to it. That's not fair. I'm so bored here.
It appears the man is having second thoughts. Could it be that he's actually having a change of heart and is questioning his own behavior?
I was like, well, are you going to call if you're coming or if you're not coming? He's like, I'll call either way.
A few hours go by and we don't hear anything from Rutherford. We assume he's not coming.
Okay, gotcha. I'm familiar with that approach.
Until suddenly, someone spots him pulling into the driveway. That's his red Corvette driving around to the back of the house. The decoy goes out to wave him in.
Come on in.
The door's open!
Where are you?
Oh, I'm just gonna go finish getting ready. I'll be right there.
Come here.
No, I promise I'll be right back.
No, come here.
I'll be right there. Just wait. You gotta be a little patient.
Actually, I want you to come here.
That's what I thought.
Rutherford says he had a feeling this was a setup. Still, there was no denying what he'd been up to.
Who did you think you were going to meet here?
Just this kid I've been talking to.
This kid.
I know she's a kid.
How old?
13, 14.
13. And how old are you?
Too old for 13, 14-year-old.
Too old.
But there's one thing he doesn't want to tell us.
What do you do for a living, Jim?
I'd rather not say. Who do you work for?
I'll get to that in a minute.
No, I'd really like to know. I'm sure I'm on TV or something right now.
Apparently, the man has seen our investigations before and doesn't want to reveal what he does for a living on national TV. So I ask him again.
Why don't you just tell me what you do for a living?
I'm a teacher.
And what grade do you teach?
6th grade.
6th grade. So you teach kids about the same age as the girl you were coming to see.
James Rutherford is a 6th grade teacher at a Catholic school in Cincinnati, where he also coaches track. He drove 2 hours to get here.
I wouldn't ever do anything. I don't know why I'm here.
You were on your webcam, showing off in front of this 13-year-old girl.
I know.
And the conversation you had with this girl
was bad. I know. I don't know why. I need help.
Then the teacher offers this excuse.
I am going through a divorce. My wife Thursday told me she was leaving me.
Yeah, but that doesn't make it right for you to have this kind of discussion.
And I shouldn't have.
The teacher admits he's chatted with underage kids before and was worried that it had become a problem for him, a serious problem that was getting worse.
I've thought about this a lot for years. Maybe I should just stop. Maybe I should get counseling. Maybe I should get help. And now I thought, well, it's not that big a deal. I've never taken it to this step. I don't know if this week has just pushed me over the edge.
But fortunately, he's fallen over the edge into our undercover investigation instead of an encounter with a real child.
You ever watch Dateline NBC?
Oh, damn, I've seen one of these.
You've seen one of these?
Yeah. You know, that was one of the reasons I thought, why am I doing this? This could be a setup.
You've actually seen our previous programs on computer predators.
I didn't think I was a predator. I wasn't coming up here for anything physical.
That's a common excuse we've heard again and again, and this man knows it.
I know you've heard this. Hell, I've seen people sit here and say the same stuff.
You were suspicious. You had seen our previous stories. probably got a chuckle out of what happened to some of these guys.
Yeah, and honestly, I sat there and watched and thought, those guys are sick. Why would you do that? And that was what, a month and a half ago? And then here I am.
But what about the young students he comes in contact with every day? Has this teacher ever crossed that line? His online chat comes uncomfortably close.
I could be your teacher. Would you flirt with me? She says wink at you and stuff. Hee hee, okay.
I've never, ever crossed a line like that with a person that I was a student. Ever. Not even thought about it. I guess maybe it was just like online, it was like they weren't real.
But I guess the question that some people might ask is this. If you eventually evolved to the point where you'd come here to meet a 13-year-old girl after this kind of conversation, at what point do you suddenly become interested in kids in the school you teach? Right? It's a legitimate question.
He talked to us for more than 40 minutes. Several times he asked, are the police outside? Am I going to get arrested? In fact, while he was inside, detectives from the Dark County Sheriff's Office had moved into place and were waiting to arrest him.
Well, Jim, I appreciate that.
I'm sorry. I mean, and tell that kid I'm sorry too. All right? I will.
In the end, what started as a possible meeting with a child ends in an encounter with police.
Sheriff's Department, stop, put your hands on your head.
In which he confesses even more during interrogation.
I think you do have a problem.
Obviously.
And you've admitted that, okay? That you have talked to minors before, 13 years of age. Do you masturbate while you're doing this?
Sometimes.
Okay.
I have, yeah.
So you're so driven by this, okay?
But sir, it's not like
just
it's.
listen to me.
Well,
man.
no,
Okay?
I think I feel like I should at least tell you. It's not like it's. I go on there specifically looking for little kids.
Touch your head.
Regardless of his explanation, the teacher is transported just like all the other men to the county jail, where he's photographed,
Turn to your right.
fingerprinted, strip-searched, and thrown in jail. From his jail cell, he calls his employer.
He resigned that position yesterday in order to spare his students and...
What happens to him next is in the court's hands.
Bound to surround this case.